Hello, I'm Yvonne Sue Turner with Points of Light, and thanks for joining us. This is the sixth video in our corporate video lecture series, and today we'll be hearing from Greg Cotton, who is the president and CEO of Cotton 7 Global Enterprises, a New York-based security and clean technology firm. And over half of the people at Cotton 7 are veterans with unique skill sets. So Greg is going to tell us about how he uses the skills of the veterans at his company in a global volunteer program to solve critical community issues in some of the most challenging places around the world. So Greg, thanks for joining us, and over to you.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Yvonne. I will start the screen share now. And first of all, one of the things I'd like to say is that I want to thank Yvonne and I want to thank Points of Light for giving us the opportunity to do this. The managing international corporate volunteering. And the thing we want to do mostly is, well, what we want to be an impact player, a global impact player. And what that means is that we really want to make a difference in the world. As far as our company is concerned, you know who we are and what we do. As far as domestically, we have a community outreach. We do that. We're part of the Monroe South Rotary Club. I've been a member now for a couple of years. We have internships. We're mentors. We have a high school STEM program. So one of the things that we find is that I have found is that top leadership involvement is vital for the success of volunteerism. And of course, myself being the CEO and president, it starts with me and it ends with me. Now, one of the things that we do is we explain to the employees the benefit to the world, as well as their own professional growth, because we use this twofold. We're helping the world, but we're also helping our employees grow as well professionally. Now, what we do also is we locate nonprofit organizations that can utilize our expertise. I'll get into more of that later. But in other words, we want to make sure that we do impact, let's say, that organization and or that community or that country. And we do this by developing a plan that will allow employees the flexibility to participate. And that's a big key, okay? Having that flexibility to be able to do that. Now, internationally, there are two organizations that we are deeply involved with. One is called Building Minds in South Sudan. Now, this particular organization was created by a couple of individuals that were born and raised in South Sudan. And they were, as you may know, there was a civil war going on there. And they were lucky to get out of the country, and they were taken in by the United States. And the community has taken care of them. They have since earned their college degrees, and they went back to actually help build their country. As a matter of fact, the two gentlemen, Sebastian and Mafan, who started Building Minds in South Sudan, they started a school. Right now, there are 817 children that attend the school, in which 304 of them are girls. And the reason why that's important is because that particular culture, it wasn't, it's hard to get girls and women educated. It's a culture thing, but they were able to do that, and we're involved in that. And I'll as I go on, I'll tell you how much more we are involved with them. The other organization is called South Sudan Village Care. There's a young man, his name is Palath. Same thing happened. He had to get out of there because of the Civil War. Like I said, they barely got out. But of course, our country took him in and took care of him. Of course, now he has his degree. They both live here in New York. And they have taken care of over 9,000 patients. Men, women, and children. 30% of the patients are children. And They do this on a budget of $38,000. I mean, think about that, $38,000 a year. And of course, there's a huge need, okay, a huge need. And that's one of the reasons why we're involved. We want to expand things, the program for them. Now, one of the things that we're doing, we have a major project in conjunction with Monroe South Rotary Club and others. Our major project is to build a 45,000 person village in South Sudan. Now, what does that mean? Well, the problem is there are not enough people that are, getting taken care of. Even though there are, we talk about 9,000 patients. Well, there's a need for 50,000. And so what we're doing, what I mean by 50,000, there's a need to take care of 50,000 people. There's a need of people going to school, a lot more than, 817 children. So what are we doing? What we're doing is several things. We're going to help with the master planning to be able to do this 45,000. We're going to help with the logistics, the risk management. Remember, this is a very volatile area, volatile region of the world. So the risk management, which means security issues. This is a huge project. So project management is going to play a very large part in this. And of course, more importantly, leadership, being able to lead something this big. And because we have, a lot of ex-military, half of my company is ex-military. Because we do have these skills and we have people who can travel abroad and are used to being in situations, hostile situations, they're more prepared. I believe as a company, we're more prepared to help, us reach that goal of being able to take care of this many people. So what we're doing is trying to build the model village, Now, there are challenges. Okay, there are challenges. For example, culture issues. Now, people ask me, well, how do you overcome the culture issues there? Remember earlier when I stated that, children couldn't go to school? Well, we listened to the experts. It was the people that understand the culture. They fix that problem. We're there to help and all that, but the first thing is that everyone understands what their role is. They understand that we have certain skills, but we understand that they understand the culture. The environment, like I said, South Sudan is a very harsh environment. So you have to be able to train your employees. And like I said before, we use ex-military personnel whenever possible for this. Now, one of the questions someone had asked me before, should you pay for employees to travel to volunteer? And the answer is more yes than no, because we're talking about using this also as professional growth training. And, business is global. We know that. It's global. And to be able to send your employees abroad and learn what the world is really about it's valuable. Not only are they helping South Sudan, they're helping people, they're also helping to grow themselves. Now, planning, like leadership, planning is huge. Now, what I mean by planning is you say, well, you have to be able to build short-term, mid-term, and long-term volunteerism plans. And the reason is simple, because you want to reduce uncertainty with your employees. I mean, you should know the next 30, 60, 90, the next 6-7 months out, they should know what they're doing. And what we do, and we're a small company, and we do a lot, but we also build it around our work as well. And like I said, it's the flexibility. You have to have that flexibility. Now, one of the things too that we want to get back to, I want to make sure that Yvonne, you know, if you have any questions on any of this that I've discussed, is there anything that you know?
Sure. Well, I wonder, how do you structure your global volunteer program? Do you have councils, or do you have individual champions that organize volunteer projects, or how do you structure your global volunteer efforts?
Well, it starts from the top. Okay, so it starts with me, and we have people. We're fortunate enough to have people who do want to participate, and more times than not, people have already donated their time, okay, to projects prior to, you know, becoming part of our organization. But we make it, I say we structured it, we may structure it a little better, because people worry about their jobs as well. Hey, am I going to have time to do my work as well? Okay, so we have to add that flexibility, and we still get our work done, and so do they. But we plan everything out to make it's smooth for everyone.
Great. And so do you also offer, you said that you pay for their travel, so they could travel on these volunteer trips. Do you also offer, how long are these trips usually? Are they sabbatical type leaves where employees can volunteer for a few weeks, a month, or how long is the average volunteer trip?
What we try to do is, it's based on, we coincide with the nonprofit we're working with. Because see, we won't go unless they're going. It has to be something that, remember the whole culture issue. It has to be something where we're working together. For example, I'm supposed to be going back to South Sudan in December. Okay, so we're working together to do that, to figure out when, and how we're going to do that.
Great. And so you mentioned that culture is really important. The nonprofits you work with are really important. One of the issues and pain points that a lot of our members come to us with questions around is, how do you vet those nonprofits, especially in these areas of the world that are so volatile, that are so unpredictable? How do you initially understand which nonprofits to work with?
Okay, first of all, if it's a nonprofit here in the United States with both of their headquarters, they're here. And you can really sit down with them and find out what their needs are. It's needs-based. And you want to find out how far ahead they are. What do they really need? Because there are some, let's say, nonprofits that are further ahead than others, and it's going to take a lot more work. Now, remember, both of these nonprofits, they have clinics up, like one or two, and they have a school. So they already have a great base there, and they do have some government support, some. So that makes it easier as far as getting in there and clearing the way for us to do more things. So that's, you know what I mean? It's like, we don't have to start from scratch, because starting from scratch is a lot of times is very difficult. If there was no school and there were no clinics, it would be very, very tough. All we're trying to do is build more clinics, more schools, okay, that's going to, basically say, okay, you guys have one school, you really need 10 schools. You have one clinic, you really need 15 clinics. We're going to show you how to get that and help execute that plan.
Well, thank you very much, Greg, for your presentation. Wonderful presentation today. And for everyone else, thanks for joining us. For more information on employee volunteerism and corporate service, visit our website at www.pointsoflight.org and click the For Companies tab at the top. Thanks so much.